Alright, my people, sales guy billionaires back here. So, as a child growing up, what are some things that you face as a child? It could be name calling. And name calling when I was growing up is one of the biggest things that people will call you and that will get you upset. I never forget. So my name call, they call me Big Head, they call me Fat Head, and this one they call me Cowy Eye, they call me yeah, all of those names, and I will get upset and all of that. I never think to harm myself, but and they'll say you're ugly and all of that, and those things will help you to let you have a low self-esteem and all of that, because people are calling you all these names and all of that, and you're looking to yourself and telling yourself, oh, am I really that, what they're calling me and all of that. But the thing is how you deal with these name calling. So now, so as I said, I deal with all of those things, and Manti said to me one day, if you react to those name calling, then they will stick. But if you don't answer to them at all, they cannot stick on you. So I listened to her, and while person called me those names, I don't react. I don't let my face push up my face or anything, or swell up my face or anything. I react to them in any form or way at all. But everybody is not the same. It's seven brothers, seven different minds. People, some people's skin are thicker than some, and some people don't have what it takes to manage these things. So at school they will pick on you. Worse, if you cannot read, they will call you dunce and all of that. That can lead to something else. The child you might be calling dunce might start to fight and all of that. Sometimes we have to understand that everybody learn on a different pace, and some are late bloomers and all of that. Parents call their children name and all of that. And so sometimes when a child go to school, because this way our parents treat them at home, that's why the guidance counselor is in the school to find out why is this child is behaving like that. And if you sit down with a child and listen to what they have to say, is the things that people say to them, especially their parents, what they say to them impact their life for them to be behaving in that manner that they are behaving at that time. So name calling, it can be good and it can be bad. Some person don't mind it, but some other person, they cannot handle the situation at all. How person calling their this kind of name and all of that. So how can we address these situations? We will never be able to fix these situations at all, but it's how we as the person, the victim, handle it. And that is the most important thing. As I said, if you give in to it, then it will stay. But if you don't pay it any attention at all, it cannot stick on you. The word of God tells us that a soft answer turn away wrath, but grievous word will store up anger, and it will. So some of the name calling too that they call us to dog. A dog when you're growing up, you're a drunk crow and all of that. Move from your song where you dirty drunk crow and all of that. How can we style our children or style anyone in such a form of a way as a drunk crow? If you should study the thing that a drunker do, a drunker is the one that clean up the dead meat and all of that. How can we even think about to call persons like that? And when we call people those names, they cannot manage it at all. They cannot handle that at all. Me dog, they, you all these animals name that we call our kids, those are the lesser forms of animal. We are the greater forms of animals because we can communicate with each other. These names that name calling that we are doing to our family or friends or stranger, it is not good. And this is the way, that's why our society is like this, is because of how our upbringing as a child, and that impact our life. I was reading a story. I don't know if it's true or anything, but it was just a story. And this person said she would never call her child these name calling, dog, drunk, you're ugly, you're this, you're that. When she said, I will say my doctor, my lawyer. So she's pronouncing a blessing upon them so that when they grow old, they will not have that stigma that is going on. Oh, nobody loves me, nobody cares for me, my parent didn't care for me, and all of that, so everyone is just against me. No, everyone is not against you. It's not everyone is against us, but because the way that we were brought up. For myself, I was brought up rough. I was brought up by even some of my family members. When the food spoiled, that is the time that they would give me to eat, and it wouldn't let my mother be upset and all of that. And it brought tears to my mother's eye to see how they would treat me as a human being, but they didn't care because to them I am not in the category that they are in, so they treat me that way. I never forget, I have a grand aunt. I have a grand aunt that one day she was going to take all of her grandkids to visit a particular son in another district, and in a car they were going. So I get myself ready and all of that ready, put my clothes off, everybody down by the road now waiting to go into the car. Everyone else, all of her grandkids went in, and I'm the only one that still stood out the car. And she closed the door and they put down the window, and she said to me, go on up in the yard, man, I'll see you tomorrow morning when we get back. You know how I felt that time? And I look around and I said, everyone is gone and I'm the only one that she did not take. You know how I felt. But none of these things that people say or do to me, or the name calls that they call me, stop me from being the person that I am today. I can look back 10, 20 years from now and just look back and said, my God, these are the things that people say about me. These are the name calls. When I was going to Clarkson Primary School, there was our first guidance counselor that we have. Her name is Miss White. I think she's now resided in England. She was our guidance counselor, and she would have us come out daytime to sit down. She take us out and all of that, and she will sit down and say, tell us some of the things that your parents, or not even not your parents, but persons say about you that you don't like. And she put it in our brain, never let those things jitter you from being who you are. Never let those things that people call you stick on you. Never pay attention to them. And that's the same thing my auntie, who returned from England, said to me, Alistair, never let those negative things that people do or say to you, or the way people treat you, affect your life or affect where you want to be or where you are planning on going, because these things can affect you mentally, they can affect you physically, and they can affect you emotionally. And then the things that people do to you and say about you, you take them over into your adult life, and it's still plaguing you. And when you're in a relationship, you treat your partner just the same way how person treat you when you are growing up. We have to get to the place and notice that those words, they can be powerful. person will say words are wind. Yes, they are wind, but they can be powerful and effective and take a toll on a person so that that person can commit suicide, because that's a form of bullying, the things that we say to people. But how can we get away from those things is to seek help. If you don't know how to get over those things, seek help. Never be afraid to seek advice on things that is bugging you. There are a lot of persons out there that will sit and listen. I am here if you need someone to talk to. Reach out. No matter what you're going through, there's nothing bad that you can't sit down and discuss it with anybody. No matter what nobody wants to say, all of us, we need a helping, and somehow, somewhere, in some form or void, we need help no matter what. As I said, name calling, it can stick right up until death. But if you don't react to them, it don't have to stay. People, take me for a prime example. A lot of name callings when I was growing up. A lot of name calling, a lot of things people say about me. But for me, I never, people know me, I never give one red crap what people say. If you're not saying something to help me to move from point A to point B, you're not touching me at all. And listen, no matter how many persons look down on you, no matter, people look down on me a lot of time, but thanks be to God, I am where I am because of that. Not because of people, not because of my family, but because of God. He brought me out of that slum where I was stuck in. You know, if he said you're a dog, pure water, and all of that. Yeah. And so he brought me from out of that situation and plant my feet upon a solid foundation. He let me sit upon a throne and looking across on my blessings that he have, that vast majority of blessing. Because of the name calling and all of that, he provide good person in my life to give me some advice. Alistair, I see that you did this, I see that person say this about you, but listen, this is what I want you to do. I want you to prove person wrong. They will curse you and say you're not come to nothing good. You're going to be worthless like your parent, worthless like your mother. You know, see how much honor your mother have. Your mother live in a one room. I grew up in a one room house. Sleep on one bed with my mother and stepfather. One room. And look at me. People will say those things to you to let you get upset and to let you lose focus on your prize. The negative things that they will say. But listen, don't take a toll. Don't fall into it. Have your eyes set on a goal that you know what, if a doctor you want to be, or you want to be a judge or a lawyer, you can be all of that. Just put it at the forefront and said, yes, I am determined to hold on to this end. I am determined. The word of God said you can do all things. And you can overcome the name calling. You can overcome everything. Listen to me, my people. Take a page out of our book, out of my book, and see where I am coming from and where I am now. Peace out. This is your guy, Billionaire.